Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode, season 2 of FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia. I am your host, Candace Cordelia, and today's episode, and you know how I love to do my couples. I think this is going to be a new thing that I'm going to start for this show because I love doing the dual couple interviews. I have the Clout Couple of MLW, Mr. Richard Holliday and Alicia Atout, and we're going to get right down to the brass tacks about what's going on in MLW. We're going to talk about Coliseum, and we're going to get into the controversy because there's a lot to be stated. But first and foremost, Alicia's like, yes. First and foremost, how are you both doing today?
I'm doing well. Things are going pretty well over here. I miss my babe over there, but of course we're both traveling right now. But yeah, I can't complain.
Yes. How about you, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, she said it perfectly. I mean, with the travel and everything, making the relationship work is tough, but we do it. And of course, I miss her, but I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent. How is it with long distance for you both? Understandably in this business, traveling is a huge part of it. And I'm sure our fans would love to know exactly how you both make it work, both going to different places. Even when you're both together at MLW, you have your own things going on. So how do you make this work for both of you?
Oddly enough, I think that it works beautifully, right? And I actually think that it actually makes the relationship even better. She is, such an incredible woman on her own. And then myself on my own, we have so much going on. We're so incredibly busy that when we do finally get to come together, it's even better, right? And our relationship, even more fire behind it. And we understand each other's lives. We understand what we're both trying to do. She has her things that she's accomplishing, and so do I. And I think that's part of the reason why we're so attracted to each other.
You said it perfectly, babe. Like, it's one of those things too, where when you're in wrestling, you're constantly on the go, and it's so hard to talk with somebody who doesn't understand that, whether it's the hustle of it, being in different cities, just traveling constantly. So it's kind of like we're already on that same page. There's no explaining. We both understand. So that really does just add an extra layer of it being just very simple.
I love that. That's beautiful. And, you're both on the same page for a lot of different things, particularly this feud that we have. I don't even want to say brewing. It's pretty much at full tilt between yourself, Richard Holliday, and yourself, Alicia Atout, and Hammerstone, Alex Hammerstone. And we're going to see this come to a full-on head May 13th at MLW Coliseum. But, we have to go back into the history, which is really rich. And the fans of MLW, they've been following this for quite some time. I mean, we're no strangers to the dynasty. Richard, you were former friends, best friends with Alex Hammerstone, and now obviously that's no longer. So talk to us, you both, first of all, because this all came to a screeching halt, this friendship at the top of 2022. What exactly happened? Why at that point did you feel it was necessary to turn on your former best friend?
I really don't look at it as like turning on a friend, because if you really take a look at it, he really wasn't that good of a friend to me. I was the one who was doing all of the quote unquote friendly things within our relationship. I mean, he was selfish, he was self-imposed, and he would never have my back. Like, I always had his back. He would always take a look back. Like, anytime he needed help, I was there. Anytime, people were ganging up on him, I was there to have his back, to clear the way. Mm-hmm. He was fine. And then, of course, he went on to become the heavyweight champion, do all these great things, but like, no notoriety. Not that I wanted the notoriety, but no pats on the back, nothing from him. Like, he didn't give anything back. There was no reciprocation. And, he just did this cute little soliloquy that he put out there of our relationship and how much it meant to him, and how he called me, with contracts. He called me when his girlfriend had cancer, and he called me, when he won the title, I was the first one there. And all those things are true. It's very, very true things. But when it really came down to being a friend for me, he just wasn't there. So I dumped his ass.
That's very interesting. Alicia, your thoughts? I saw you nodding your head. You're like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you guys only saw everything that was, shown on MLW. There's so many different layers behind the scenes of where Richard went out of his way to be such a good friend to Alex, and the disrespect back constantly. That's where I've just had enough. When you care about somebody the way that I care about him and see someone treat someone like that, you just have enough at some point. So it just got to a point where it was ridiculous.
Thank you both for clarifying, because a lot of fans have wondered exactly when this first started. And of course, there are many things that we don't see that are happening behind the scenes. I know, for example, when Hammerstone won in October, the World Heavyweight Championship, a lot of fans have been wondering if you, Richard, were in fact jealous of that win and perhaps felt some type of way. I don't know what your thoughts about that are.
No, I don't like when people like perceive me or like try to like have this representation of what I am. Like jealous? No. Like, why would I be jealous? Like, I was the first one through the curtain to congratulate him when he won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's for real. Like, I hope that there was cameras there to pick up that moment. Like, that's 100% the truth. But jealous? Absolutely not. I don't get jealous of people like Hammerstone. I mean, he has no qualities about himself that wouldn't make me say, I wish that was me, or I wish I had that. I mean, like, look at it from like an intelligence perspective. The guy dropped out of high school, so he has no education. Then look at it from a style perspective. He comes to the arenas in a stringer tee and slides. So yeah, I mean, why would I envy him? I was happy for him. I was like, wow, this guy who really should achieve nothing has achieved the highest thing to do in our business. So, good for him. I was happy. Jealous? No, absolutely not. But now I'm like, you just don't really deserve that the way I deserve that. So I'm going to take it from you, pal. I'm happy the time you did.
Wow. Alicia, very recently, and I was very intrigued by this development, this whole lawsuit that's happening. Can you please confirm if this is indeed a thing? You're actually thinking of suing, I believe, MLW, because they are pretty much telling you can't have or do any interviews. For that, I can already see you have thoughts. This is
I was advised to not speak much on the subject, but what I can say is at this point in time, I don't feel the need to interview. So, they can kind of threaten me with what they want. That is how I'm viewing this, but I don't care. I don't give a damn about what's on the table. I'm going to handle my business like I always do. And I'm just going to continue to thrive otherwise, because at this point, I don't need the interviews.
Your fans have grown up watching you do interviews and making your claim, you're staking your claim in MLW, and now you're in your Bay's corner and you're really helping him out right now. I mean, how do you feel about this new turn of events for you and this new thing that you're really cultivating for yourself in MLW in terms of a career?
Absolutely love it. Because not only do I get to be by his side, literally have the closest front row seat every time he's in the ring, which I absolutely love. But it's also just been wonderful because at this point, I don't have to continue to follow the rules. I don't have to sit by the sidelines and just listen to all of the BS. I can kind of pave my own path with this whole thing. And that has been absolutely incredible. No one's going to stop either of us from saying what we want, from doing what we want in MLW. And I think if they just keep eyes on that, they're going to realize that real quick.
We started this interview off talking about long distance and making the relationship work and all of that great stuff. What do you foresee for both of you going forward after Coliseum? Of course, I'm sure for you both, you want the win and then you're going to go off to glory. But what do you foresee for yourself after that, should that happen on May 13th?
Well, May 13th is a monumental day, not just in my life or Alicia's life, but MLW's life, in the world of professional wrestling. It's a huge day. The media attention that this event is garnering is really because of myself and Alicia and how much we are driving the perception of this event. With that being said, when I win the heavyweight championship and Alicia comes in the ring and we have that passionate kiss like we do, trust me, we are going to leave Philadelphia as quickly as we possibly can. And we are going to celebrate the way that we only can, the way that the Clout Couple only could.
And you're speaking of my hometown. Philly is my hometown. And I know, judging from other shows that I've been to at the 2300 Arena, it's going to be one that I think a lot of fans will never forget. I think we're in for some shocks and some waves. But another thing that I would love to know is, what do you do? What does the Clout Couple do? What's a day in the life of the Clout Couple when you are together?
I think the most obvious thing is any time that we get to explore a city together, especially for the first time, he always needs to hit up his coffee shops. It's to the point where when we first start going on our initial dates, I couldn't believe how many different shops he'd want to hit up. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do one. He's like, no, I literally have a list of 3. They're within 10 minutes of each other. So that's always something that we have to do for sure.
Yeah, and Alicia doesn't really love coffee all too much, but she does get the hot chocolate wherever they are available. And there have been some really lovely artisan hot chocolates that she has got.
I have been. Yeah, I've discovered some really good stuff.
That's interesting. I recently saw a tweet that you wrote out, Alicia. You were like, what is this man turning me into? Because you were saying, oh, I'm getting an iced coffee. What is happening?
I know. I was like, if you would have told me I was doing this a couple of years back, you'd be like, who the hell are you? But look at me now, the positive effects of being in this kind of relationship.
Exactly. And Richard, the last time that we talked, we both saw each other in person back in October, we talked about your coffee range and your own entrepreneurial pursuits. How's that been going since then?
Oh man, it's thriving. Yeah, it's excellent. I get consumers almost daily, direct messaging me or messaging me on Twitter or Instagram, wherever the case may be. Just let me know how great the blend is, that they're repeat customers. They keep going on and buying. So the residual business has been great. The brand is growing. It's awesome. I mean, it's fantastic coffee. Have you tried it yet?
I have not, because no one sent me any. So what is happening? You're supposed to send me some, Richard. We gotta get it on this. Alicia's like, what's good?
I'll see what I can do.
Yes, please. A little sample would be excellent. I never was a big coffee person, but over the past few years, I myself have definitely started to partake in it. And it's not an addiction, but, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't have a cup every now and then on a weekly basis. So yes, I'd love to have a taste. What about you, Alicia? Do you think you're going to get into the family business with this coffee range Richard has going?
Oh, I mean, anything that he does, I'm always behind. So whatever help he needs, I am absolutely there. Anything that he's passionate about, it's my job. And I just love absolutely being able to go right in there. So, I think, why wouldn't I, right?
Exactly. And what about wrestling for you? Because this is something, Alicia, that you and I kind of talked about the last time we also met in October. And you stated how you were in pain and you were bruised. And I didn't know if that was something you wanted to do.
I messed myself up.
So what are your thoughts now? It's been some months have passed and we see what you're doing with Richard, and a lot of fans want to know still if that's something you would like to delve into.
Every time that I'm in Orlando filming the Worsties stuff, I'm always in the ring, always trying to kind of brush up on that stuff. But by no means am I in there training constantly kind of ready for a match. However, I have felt this weird drive and had these random kind of daydreams. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be pretty badass if the Clout Couple could actually go in there and just destroy everybody? So part of me would love to put that effort in right now. There's a lot going on, but you never know. At this point, I always say you never know.
Who would be someone that you would love to face in the ring, should that become a possibility?
Oh, man. I don't know. I have to think about that for a second. Does anyone come to mind for you, babe?
The idea of Alicia getting in the ring is, I'm very, it's a double-sided coin for me. Like on one side of the coin, I don't want to see anything happen to her. There's so much training that goes involved in it. Not that she can't do it because she's so accomplished in everything else that she does. If she sets her mind to it, I have no doubt that she'll be able to do it. But you do have to put in the time and, and effort in order to be safe in the ring. Then the other side, I'm like, man, that would be super hot if she's in there with me. So
that'd be so cool.
I don't know.
We'll see.
It's kind of one of the flip of the coin type scenarios, but in terms of opponents or anything like that, who really cares? That's all wish-wash. That doesn't really matter. That's for the consumers to speculate. Hey, I'd love to see that. Stars don't do that. We just get in the ring, and whoever's across from us is across from us.
Absolutely, I love that response. Very diplomatic, but also, you bet on yourself. You have to bet on yourself, bet on your partner, and it is what it is. So, Alicia, you did also mention Worsties. I see this becoming more of something that you're really dedicating a lot of your time, or not a lot of your time, but a good amount of your time to. So talk to us more about this, because I saw there's some podcast action happening and a lot of really special things that you're preparing for your fans.
Yeah, it's my feud with Selena De La Renta. She has weirdly become my worst best friend in this entire universe, which is a very bizarre dynamic. But right now, we're just always doing exclusive content. We've been focusing heavily on doing these video game segments called Video Games Not for Dummies, where we duel. Whoever loses the video game has to do a horrible punishment. So I feel like those have really actually been toughening me up as of late because they can be brutal, but it's a good time. So we are just continuing to post a lot of exclusive goodies. And we actually have a trip coming up where Richard will be involved that we're really excited about, where we're going to be filming a lot of exclusive stuff. So yeah, we just have a ball, we're kind of badasses. We're a little bit goofball, and that combination can be deadly sometimes.
Very interesting. We can't wait to see what comes next. And of course, what comes next is May 13th. It's right around the corner. We can't wait to see what happens between yourself, Richard, and Alex Hammerstone. Do you have anything that you'd like to say to Alex? Because I have a feeling he will be watching this. He is watching your every move, even if he might not.
He's obsessed.
I'm sure he's watching. So what would you like to say to him at this moment?
I have nothing to say to him. I really don't. There's no words that I can put out there that's going to get through his thick skull anyway. So it's all about the actions. It's all about what's going to take place on May 13th. And you know what? Part of me thinks that he's going to get in the ring and this is going to be like some sort of cakewalk for him. I really feel like he's looking past who I am and what I'm going to do when I get in the ring. He should know firsthand, when we team together as a dynasty, he's such a forward thinker in that sense that he doesn't really live in the present moment. And in that moment on May 13th, when it's me and him, the bell's going to ring. He, like I said in his little soliloquy, he tried to get right in the camera and try and threaten and intimidate me. You don't intimidate me, Alex. I know everything about you inside and out. I know your weaknesses, your intellectual weaknesses, your physical weaknesses. I know them all. I'm too cerebral for you. I'm too smart for you. So, well, you know what? There, I did just have some words for him. You went me. You went on a tangent. Didn't do that, but I did. So those are my closing remarks. And then, from a consumer perspective, come to the 2300 Arena on May 13th, and you will witness history.
Indeed. Anything you'd like to add, Alicia?
I feel like he just perfectly covered it. It's going to be one hell of not just a match, but a fight. And I know who's going to be coming out with that gold.
Well, we cannot wait to see what happens next. May 13th, everyone, MLW. If you are in the Philadelphia area, you want to go to the 2300 Arena. It's in South Philly. Check it out. I know that you're not going to want to miss this one, and I can't wait. It's going to be one for the ages. Is there anything else you both would like to add? Anything you'd like to plug, pitch? The floor is yours.
Alicia, go.
Okay. The shameless self-plug. If you guys just go to Google, Alicia Atout, search it up. You can find all of my socials, which are at Alicia Atout, my merch store, where I have everything from pins to photographs to video calls, everything and above. Of course, follow the Worsties, as we are always coming out with crazy content. And MLW airs at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Thursday, where you can watch the only thing that matters, the Clout Couple.
Well said.
All right. I love it. You heard it here first. The Clout Couple, Richard Holliday, Alicia Atout. Please watch MLW. Please tune in May 13th for MLW's Coliseum show. I'm your host, Candace Cordelia, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia, where we give you exclusive interviews with your favorite wrestling superstars. Stay tuned for another wonderful interview. But until then, see you later.